travel continues. We'll begin today's session by the introduction of the governors and a brief on their project, starting from our right hand of the chairman.
Good morning, Your Excellencies. Of creating over 3,000 jobs, and for every single job created, we place at least 30,000 naira into the pocket of everyone involved in this project. Like I said earlier, alternative needs for Nigerians. Thank you.
Representing the light of the nation, Anambra State. And my pet project is called Leaders Community Library Development. And it is very happy if our children in our communities are exposed to this kind of knowledge at a very young age. It will be amazing. And to build one library in the community will cost only 250,000 naira. So please do contact me for us to make this possible. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellencies. Good morning, Nigeria. I'm Adela Pade Ibrahim, the Born Governor of Oyo State. And my pet project is Waste to Wealth. This is a project in which waste products will be recycled to foster our society and make our environment better for us and produce it. The system whereby instead of indiscriminate waste disposal will be curtailed in the society and segregation of waste materials in which the non-biodegradable ones, the plastic polythenes in the waste will be recycled for use in manufacturing of other renewable products, while the biodegradable ones will be used in the production of fertilizers. If we can achieve this, and we will definitely achieve this, we will be able to sustain the economy in the agricultural sector and also to make our environment and atmosphere a better place for us. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Your Excellencies. Good morning, Nigeria. My name is Ifenla Jedediah Olibide. I'm the Laboring Governor for Oyo State, that is the Gateway State. The hallmark of a great nation is in the emotional, psychological, and mental fitness of the people of that great nation. And so for this purpose, I want you to think of ARM, A-R-M. It means Arc and Rainbow Movement. Arc and Rainbow Movements, all we're concerned about is meeting the need of people, meeting the need of Oyo State people, meeting their mental, psychological, and emotional needs, so that in the long run, the youths and in general, the people of Oyo State, and in the long run, the people of Nigeria would be able to fit into a universal and global acceptability. And for this, we will be having we'll be having some mentorship classes in which we mentor youth in the state. We'll be teaching them about abstinence, about sexual abstinence. We'll be teaching them about sex education, because over the years, there are lots of misconceptions about sex education. Basically, like I said, we want to meet the needs of people so that they can transcend from some mindsets that is battling us as a nation into a great mindset, so that people's orientation would be heightened, and basically so that their paradigm will be shifted. Thank you very much.
Good day, Your Excellencies. Good day, Nigeria. I am Tom Day, title sponsor, the Laboring Governor representing Bauchi, and my pet project is Pearls in Agriculture. It's an integrated farming system which will be done in primary and secondary school, and the aim is to make agriculture exciting and interesting to students, pupils that are coming up. And what we aim at is by 2014, we are going to maximize our viable agricultural potentials in Bauchi State. And then aside from that, children, when they leave school, can be able to use agriculture as a source of livelihood. Waste material from one agricultural form will be used in another, which will start with fish pond and vegetable garden, whereby the water from the fish pond is used for irrigation. And we also aim that at the end of it, that all year round there will be agricultural practices taking place in the state. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellencies. My name is Ali Bode Yusuf from the Center of Excellence. Let me start by like this. People don't buy products, they buy brands. And brands can only be sold by advertising or awareness. Therefore, made in Nigerian goods will find it difficult to make it in the Nigerian market if we don't create awareness and advertising for them. Therefore, my pet project is called Buy Back Nigeria. Made in Nigerian goods will not find its easy way into the existing market. So, I'm going to synergize the media with alternative markets for made in Nigerian goods, for them to have a leverage of competing with the existing products of foreign goods which are already saturated in our existing markets. So the idea is to use the media to create an alternative market for made in Nigerian goods, to have a platform where they can actually sell their goods, make money and make more products, and also to grow the Nigerian economy, because Nigeria can only grow Nigeria by buying made in Nigerian goods. Thank you.
Good day, Your Excellencies. Good day, Nigeria. I am Day-26a Jonathan, the Labour Governor for Borno State. I'm working on a project that is channeled towards bringing education aid in emergency, titled Mubama Yara Ilimi. It is channeled towards developing a home-based education system for children in crisis areas through the use of audiovisual materials that will be distributed to children in small MP3 players and MP4 players that will be powered by solar energy. With this project actualized, I believe it will tame the impeding effect of illiteracy in our society, especially in Borno State. It will save us the danger of raising an illiterate generation that will in future be liability to the state and to the country at large. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Akin Sholatimi Tope Vivian, Labour Governor for Osun State, and my pet project is Agritourism Festival. This project is a combination of agriculture and tourism. There are a lot of tourist centers in Nigeria, and Osun State is our case study, where we have over 40 tourist centers. These centers are going to be work open, and at a particular month in the year, will be invited people home and abroad, Nigerians in the diaspora, to come home and let us celebrate our culture, let us celebrate our abundant vegetation. This project will be promoting education, it will be promoting entertainment, it will also promote beauty, hard work, and patriotism. The project is going to be inviting also investors into the country to showcase our diverse culture, especially in Osun State. This project also will be using that opportunity to have our agri-produce being processed and preserved. And in conclusion, we will be inviting the investors to Osun State and into Nigeria to see what we have in abundance and how they can harness into it. Thank you.
My name is Haruna Babali, and I'm the Labour Governor of Yobe State. I call my project the Noma Agro Academy, and this is a place whereby youths can go in and get skills on agricultural production for free. The aim of this project is to facilitate the teaching of science of agriculture, to promote the involvement of youth in agricultural sector across Yobe State, to facilitate accessibility to land, to provide funding and technical assistance to youth on agriculture, especially to youth in the rural areas. Thank you.
My name is Joshua Samson Bana from the Power State, Niger. Now imagine having an alternative fuel for as low as 40 naira and it's readily available. I tell you, welcome to Oris Energy. Oris Energy is a company or an industry that deals with renewable materials. What we do is we get starchy crops like cassava, wheat, barley, convert it into ethanol, and adding additives. At the end of the day, you have your fuel, which will be readily available all over the country. Once again, welcome to Oris Energy. Thank you.
Standing on the mandate of over 3.4 million people, I am His Excellency Amechi Chinonso, the governor representing the good people of Enugu State. My pet project, or rather the name of my project, is called the OB. And what does this mean? The Odis Bamboo. It's of two faces. One, we are focused and dedicated in harnessing the great potentials in human. And secondly, we are focused in harnessing and maximizing, transforming the great potential in bamboo. In harnessing the human potentials, in these aspects, we want to convert human potentials, mine out what they have upstairs, and convert it into jobs, create jobs for them. And on the other hand, transforming this bamboo into common products, which will be exported to other African countries. This is a platform that accommodates every girl child in Enugu State. It's also a platform that will erase and eradicate poverty and create better wealth and health for the good people of Enugu State. Once again, welcome to the OB Pet Project. Thank you.
Morning, Your Excellencies. Morning, Nigeria. I am Abubakar Suleiman, representing the good people of Nasarawa State. I'm working on a personal project known as emergency boost. What happened after giving you skills? There are a lot of skills activation these days, but what happened later? That's where emergency boost can come in. We are dealing specifically with mentoring youth, which has been the missing factor for years in developing youth in this country. Giving them leadership skills. How can they market the skill they have acquired? How can they work with people? How can they manage employees? How can they manage their brand to sustain itself for years? In a nutshell, this is a brief introduction to emergency boost. Thank you very much.
Think of what you can do for your country rather than what your country can do for you. My name is Comrade Ure Isabuso, the Labour Governor representing the good people of Zamfara State. Agriculture is the backbone of the economic activities of the people in my state. In such, the name of my project is the Sofi Project. We produce the large number of agricultural value, which ranging from soya beans, granules, etc., etc. As such, the name of my project is Busofit. This Busofit factory, is taking one of our agricultural products, which is soya beans, converting it into, processing it into looking at the value chain addition, and convert it into the soap and detergent, and then fish and poultry farm. This factory can be used to process and then produce fish and farming, fish and poultry farming, then also soap and detergent at the same time. And this project is generates a number of job opportunities in my state. Also, it's also generate funding, poverty eradication, and also generate a number of revenue in my state. Welcome to Busofit Factory. Thank you.
My project is Tabai Foundation, which is running already, and our slogan is Nigeria First. And our project is an integrated one that has to do with the aspect of health in obstetric fistula centers, reaching to the people affected by vesico-vaginal fistula, and from there we are reaching out to almajiris, where we do get bright and smart ones out of them that we need to enroll into schools with the consent of their guardians. And from there we have youth initiative that we engage youths into ICT programs. Last 2 months we engaged 34 youths, which comprises of participants from each local government of the state, and other charity programs that we are reaching out to the less privileged. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is the Governor of Kano State. Kano State have abundance of both mineral and human resources. Thousands of hectares of land not being used. That's why I come up with a project focused on smart farming, which the smart farming will also focus on bringing back the pyramid of Nigeria. As you all know, granite used to be a major crop that plays a major role in the economy of the country. So, the project is designed, and also the project is designed in such a way that investors can invest without going to the farm, and also will create job opportunities for youth. When I say investor will invest, we are not without him even going to the farm. I mean, pictures of the farms will be taken to that investor for him to see proof that things are being working. And also, we partner with the government and a company that is focused on agriculture, on agricultural products, on farming, mostly, especially on farming. We will partner with the government in allowing some of the land that the granite will be found on. I call this project the Now project, and also I expect it to play a major role in the country economy and also create job opportunities for youth. Thank you.
Good day, fellow governors. My name is Promise Nanambulan, the neighbor of governor representing Plateau State. As kids, we imagined the world that we could build through our imaginative perspective. Tapping into these visual thoughts and as of exploring resources available to us will give rise to an industrial hub. I named my project Industrial Whiskey. This is an industrial center in which kids from primary, secondary, home of the disabled, orphanages, the streets of the kids will have an opportunity to harness under one roof, but in different departments, to be able to identify their talents and their passions in skill acquisition, entrepreneurial and business ideas, resource allocation, ICT, etc. But most importantly, to bring out inventors out of it. Because in Nigeria, one of the major things we lack is the art of manufacturing. And the kids in Nigeria are very good with their hands. And we have a lot of scraps in which we could scavenge for. These scraps will be able to come about devices made by these kids. We have a lot of potentials that are yet to be explored by the imaginative minds of children. Giving an example of the Asian, the Chinese in particular, the kids contribute to it great percentage of invention created in the Asian world. This program is going to occur every week, twice a week. The first week is going to happen in the classrooms where trained teachers will be designated to the classroom to train the students, and on Saturdays where they will all assemble at the hall. Secondly, it's going to make kids from different schools, different local governments, meet under one another. So there's a form of unity at the end of the day. Before they reach the age of 18, most Nigerian children will be financially dependent on themselves. This is to eliminate the fight for white-collar jobs and to have a self-sustained Nigerian youth. Thank you very much.
Greetings, Your Excellency. Greetings, Nigeria. My name is Day-26a Solomon, the Labour Room Governor for Ekiti State. My personal development project is titled Ekiti State Agro-Edu Initiative, with the goal to foster, that is, to blaze a trail for an agricultural revolution, like globalization of agriculture in Ekiti State, by engaging and empowering the youth in cooperative farming in order to have the large-scale production of Igbimo rice, our popular Igbimo rice, and our popular Ikoleyan, excessively enough to feed the Nigerian citizen, and at the same time, excessively enough for exportation in an attempt to conserve our much-needed foreign exchange in Nigeria. Also, lastly, ICT will be used to facilitate the various processes of distribution. How? By deploying my Ekiti State Agro e-sourcing app for the education of farmers and also to foster the phenomenon of distributing this agricultural product to the outside world. Thank you.
From Godson State, good morning, Your Excellencies. Good morning, Nigeria. Well, let me introduce to you the new Abia Empire. This is the establishment of Made in Aba trade fairs in different cities in Nigeria and countries outside Nigeria. The essence of this proposal is therefore to create a wild market avenue for Aba products to be marketed across the country. The trade fair complex will last like 5 days to 7 days, so we can showcase the products in Aba to the country. So there will be an e-commerce web application just like Konga and Jumia to market many Aba products in the country. Thank you.
Good day, my excellencies. Good day, my fellow Nigerians. I am Ibrahim Ahmed Tijani, representing the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. My personal project development is to create employment for youth across my state. You will all agree with me that Abuja is a land that has a lot of tourist centers. Imagine youths all around the state, across the 6 area councils of my state, getting an employment opportunity by maximizing their skills in the sense that they know the area very well. We are going to be having tourist marshals that will be attending to people across the country and even foreigners that will be coming down to this country. Welcome to Abuja Tourist Marshals. Thank you.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Your Excellency. From the glory of our land, I'm David Airport, representing Bayelsa State. My project is on solid waste management, and I titled it Waste to Home to Me, or the Waste Home Project. It's aimed at starting a generalized solid waste management scheme, improving our local environment, offering continuous employment at different levels, and generating income. To avoid the risk and outbreak of disease and environment in our environment resulting from waste. The major stakeholders on this project is going to be the general public. We're going to have employees, eco clubs, and many others. This project is also going to be proposing a bill to the National Assembly to stop the production of polythene, which, as we all know, takes about 400 years to decay, causing harm to our environment. And also, we're going to be replacing this polythene with more environmental friendly materials. Thank you.
From the Eastern Heartland, good morning, Your Excellencies. Good morning, members of the press, fellow Nigerians. My name is Onyekwe Godwin Nwachukwuneke, Labour Governor for Imo State. I'm the founder of IamPots.com, which is a community of young people in their millions who are taking responsibility and preparing themselves for leadership. I'm also the founder of 234work.com, which is a freelance platform with a capacity of creating over 10 million jobs. It allows everyone to use their knowledge, talent, skill, or hobby to earn reliable income by selling it as a service. And my personal development project is the 2I Hub, which is the IamPort Innovative Hub, which is harnessing the hyper-creative minds of Imo youths into creating the next billion-dollar startup like Facebook, Uber, and other companies. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Nigeria. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, my fellow excellencies. My name is Olubenga John Johnson, the initiator of Ondokana Chocolates, as well as the Labour Governor for Nigeria's Sunshine States, Ondo States. My own personal project is mainly for Ondo State's development, as well as in the bid to nationalize it and help Nigeria also develop with this. This makes it, cocoa is largely produced in Ondo State, and this makes it my choice for investment. It is highly desired globally, and it can produce local and foreign exchange, which can be injected into Ondo State's development and other agendas and ventures within the state and nationally, which includes stuff like bitumen production, which Ondo does produce a lot of too, which will help us in tarring the roads of Ondo and nationally. Furthermore, the Ondokana cocoa processing plant is designed to be a capital generating base for the development, like I said, of Ondo State and nationally. We're going to employ the people in the rural areas as well as the township in the mix of production, and we'll use this to attract foreign and local investments for national expansion through franchise across the nation. Thank you.
Good day, Nigeria. Good day, Your Excellency, gentlemen, gentle pressmen and women. I am Jean DK, the Labour Governor representing River State, the treasure base of the nation. I am the lead consultant of the first Nipapam SAP refinery in River State. Nipapam, when refined, you get ethanol. Ethanol is an alternative for gasoline and diesel. This project was chosen by me. First of all, River State is polluted. The plant Nipapam, when planted, reduces the dangerous carbon emission which is caused by gas burn and causes soot and is dangerous for human environment in River State. Secondly, this project is going to create massive direct and indirect employment in River State. Also, we improve the livelihoods in River State. River State will be green and fresh. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my dear colleagues. Good afternoon, Nigerians. My name is Nafi Bello Bosakwache, Labour Governor representing Sokoto State. I have two issues that bothers me each day, each and every blessing day in my state: political thuggery and street begging. The political thuggery has already been solved by my state governor, Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwal. Thank you for that, my governor. And my project is Life of Almajiri. I will try my possible best and eradicate Al-Majri in my state. What I intended doing is I will locate the schools of these young kids that they are begging on the street. Normally they are out to search for Islamic education. So I will search for their school and I will register each and every school of these young kids. And what I will do after that, I will partnership with Ministry of Religious Affairs and I will partnership with Ministry of Health to take care of their health and Ministry of Religious Affairs to take care of their well-living, foods, dressing and everything. I'm a fashion designer. I am the MD CEO of ST Designs and I will make sure each and every one of them, I will train them how to sew clothes and shoemaking for them to live in a very good life in future. Thank you very much.
Whatever the mind can conceive, believe the mind can achieve. I am Ikechukwu Henry Ozibo, the first Labour governor of Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State is made up of hard-working and talented sets of youth who are ready to work. I welcome you to my project, the Ebonet Hub. That's Ebonyi Entrepreneur Hub. This hub is going to take care of this talented set of youths, educate them on leadership, economic development, finance, project monitoring, corporate social responsibilities. These are the basic things that are needed for them to be self-entrepreneurs. Now, under it, we are going to be working also on youths who are talented in tailoring, shoemaking, bead making, furniture, baking, and other pastries. We are going to bring out these skills from these youths, empower them, create an enabling environment for them so that they can stand on their own. Imagine if 30% of the Nigerian youths today are entrepreneurs who are standing still and ready to employ more entrepreneurs, train more entrepreneurs. Imagine how far we are going to go on our economic development on a long run. Today, I welcome you to the Ebonet Hub, the Entrepreneur Hub, Ebonyi State. Welcome.
The Council of Elders, Labour Room, fellow governors, gentlemen of the press, good people of Kwara, fellow Nigerians, from the state of harmony, Amoluwa Tobiye Iroja. Nigeria of our dreams is a nation that will not rest upon the horse of our yesterday's glory in development. My project is on the education sector, known as Project National Values, also known as PRONAVA. PRONAVA is a script-to-screen form of civic, social, and corporate values compiled in a book, having over 25,000 action project ideas ready to be infused into school syllabus from primary to youth core stage. Oshunu Chris K has given his life for this project over a decade now. Imagine our school having their syllabus in form of games, music, and movies, having the potency to employ over 15,000 students and staff whilst in school. Kwara State will champion this cause to build people that will in turn build the state. Ipale Kwara, Irimemi. Thank you very much.
The Council of Elders, Labour and Governors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. My name is Muhammad Isa Sule, the Labour Room Governor representing Kogi State, the confluent state. The name of my project is the EduCon Quest. Education is very, very important when we want to develop a slowly developing nation, because all shades of development requires education as the way to enlighten the mind. The EduCon Quest is going to be a competition. On the 28th day of February 2018, I'm inviting the 21 local government areas of Kogi State schools
for junior and secondary school sections, and next 2 years for other schools in the country to participate in the Edu contest. Here there is going to be a competition in both science and artistic disciplines. The reward for your intrinsic passion for education is going to be used as a tool to bettering the education sector. The objectives of this is going to be developing the education sector to reach world standard. It's also going to be a way scholarship will be given to intelligent, productive, and wise students. And lastly, the reviving of the glory of teachers who teach these students. This competition is going to ensure that the winners would have their schools developed. This would encourage participation and true passion for education, which is being lost in our country. I welcome you to the Edu Conquest 2018-2019. Thank you.
The Labour Room Executive Council, the Chairman, Labour Room Governors Council, Your Excellencies, my fellow Labour Room Governors, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Architect Brian Amadi Daniels, and I'm the Labour Room Governor representing the good people of Adamawa State. I'm from the House of Granite. My project is the $1 project. It is perceived that an average Nigerian lives on less than $1 a day. Therefore, the $1 project is aimed at raising 100 youth millionaires in 18 months. How can that be done? This can be achieved through corporate thrifting, where individuals or youth who are entrepreneurs in their own respect, who will be trained using leadership, mentorship and apprenticeship training, will be brought together to ensure that they save a minimum of $1 a day for the next 18 months. This is aimed at alleviating the poverty that is around my state and ensuring that all the youth who will participate will become self-reliant. This will be modeled in the 21 local governments of Adamawa State, in line with my government agenda to eliminate poverty. Thank you very much.
The Labour Room Council of Elders, my fellow governors, fellow Nigerians, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you. It pains my heart anytime I see youths and teenagers under the age of 15 to 20 abusing drugs, because I fall under that age group. That's why I came up with a personal development project called the DADA Initiative, meaning the Demige Anti-Drugs Initiative, with a vision to reduce the drug-induced rate in my state. I would like to partner with the National Orientation Agency, NDLEA, and Kaduna State Government. These youth will be trained for 6 months, and after all, they will be empowered with different skills. After these skills, there will be sporting activities yearly for those in that group. Also, this training will take place in the 23 local government of Kaduna State and have the tendency of spreading around the country. And will reduce drug-induced crime by 25% in the first 6 months. The first set of youth that will be trained and are ready to take responsibility will facilitate the next phase of the training, because it is said, the old breed without the new breed. Thank you.
Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, my fellow governors. My name is Iwa Mela from Gombe State. Now, when you acquire education through the PET project of the Anambra State government, and you accumulate wealth through the various projects of other governments, what next? Entertainment, of course. So I welcome you to the microscope. The microscope is a talent hunt. I am of the opinion that we have less talent in our entertainment industry. I believe that all of us know one person or the other that have a peculiar talent that is not using it. So the microscope is going to create a platform for these people to be seen, to be encouraged, and at the end of the day, we will use the media to show them to the whole world for their potential to be utilized for national economic growth. Thank you very much.
And now, representing the big heart of this nation and the heart of the Niger Delta. My name is Oshibri Onofe, representing Delta State. My pet project, my life project, my personal development project is LRG 900, transforming, equipping and empowering lives annually with an impact of 1,000 direct jobs annually and indirect jobs of over 1,000 jobs annually. LRG 900 has a tripodal mandate of one, which is L, leadership and entrepreneurial training and certification, leaders with a peace initiative to partner with both state and federal government, entrepreneurs with a mindset to revive the Delta Steel Company, to look into ways of reviving the Delta Port. Next is the rural women processing, packaging and partnering, which is a core part of the LRG 900. It is known fact that the agribusiness value chain, of which 70% is being manned and handled by women. We intend to partner with both the board for medium and small scale enterprise as well as the central bank to ensure that our rural women take their part in building our economy in Delta State and the Niger Delta at large. And the G, LRG, is the grassroots sports development, identifying the fact that we are a riverine area. 35% of Delta State is riverine. But Nigeria till today has no representation in the water games. We only know what is track and field. LRG 900 is not only going to transform lives, but it's going to raise leaders, youths and women that will in turn build Delta State, the Niger Delta and our nation at large. Thank you very much.
Executive Council, dear Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen of the press, good morning. Taraba State is the home to the highest peak in Nigeria, the Chapalwada, home to over 70 tribes and 80 ethnic groups, home to the Natural Park Kashakabuti. My pet project is titled See My Taraba. It's a project that is centered on exposing Taraba State to the world with its potentials and academic strength, with the focus of empowering over thousands of youths, giving them a platform of expression of talents and gifts as they expose their states on the platform of agriculture, economic and entertainment strengths. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, this is Trial Bill Week 4, and saddled with the responsibility of chairing the Executive Council, the Labour Room, is His Excellency, the Labour Room Governor for Taraba State. He will give us the opening remark. Join your hands together for His Excellency.
The President, the Federal Executive Council, state governors and executive cabinets, international agencies, private sector, men of the press, Nigerians at home and in diaspora, my fellow governors, good day. The Nigeria Rebirth Foundation presents Nigeria's first ever national development reality TV show, The Labour Room, which kicked off on the 17th of September 2017. For 60 days, 37 youths representing the 36 states and the FCT will live together in the Labour Room Mansion, discussing 11 critical issues that bedevils the nation. These youths, called Labour Room Governors, are also tasking youths with formulation of the Green Century Code, a 100-year development plan that will foster a new path for the delivery of a super nation. They say he who fails to plan, plans to fail. We have consciously set out the plan and destiny of Nigeria for 100 years. Rome was not built in one day, so therefore we hope to build Nigeria consciously, one day after the other. Dear Nigerians, at home and well-wishers over the world, your dreams, ideas, concepts, and plans for a more prosperous Nigeria is welcome at this point. The last 25 days have witnessed a change in the national ideology that Nigeria is working, and our unity is non-negotiable. The 37 Labour Room governors have been broken into 6 houses, out of which 1 governor from the 6th geopolitical zone marks a team, with each governor championing a personal development project in their state. Our short stay so far has witnessed guests from the media, public, private and international organizations, individuals and the Nigerian government, to list a few. The essay to the President on Social Investment, the Honorable Member representing the Sun Northeast and Southeast, the Vice President of the Schlumberger Company, the lead consultant, Prince Consults Limited, the comedian Shehilo, former UN prosecutor on the Rwandan genocide, the African Union representative, Mr. Fela Durotoyi, the mentor, Mrs. Aisha Babangida, and several others. We have had group and individual tasks bordering around projecting our state potentials and investors, discussing key sectors such as the education sector of the nation, while making plausible recommendations and potential bills to the National Assembly. Lastly, we the 37 governors jointly watched the Super Eagles match with Zambia as the Eagles triumphed to qualify the Russia 2018. It was a celebration galore. We have had little disagreements, discharge of our fellow governors, but we remain ever focused in our service to this nation. We remain resolute on this national call. We remain united in our resolve to deliver a super nation. Thank you. From the nation, Taraba State, my name is Chief Power, the Labour Room Governor of Taraba State, Chairman, Labour Room Executive Council.
And now, we proceed to questions from ladies and gentlemen from the press. If we have, please signify by raising up of your hands before we move to the other business.
My name is Ellen from Penn Selection. I listened to your third project, which is very nice and valuable. At least I noticed that 5 governors here talked about agriculture. Many talked about different things, and in your address, you say that the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. I don't know the discussions you've had so far. What is your room or the governor saying about the devolution of powers and the recent agitations that is going on in the country? Have you maybe had a thought about it, and what did you resolve on that?
Thank you very much. At this juncture, I would like to invite the Labour Room Governor representing Anambra State for your answer.
Thank you so much. We have 7 Labour Room governors representing the state in the conflict of FCT, and coming from different states and different ethnic groups. We have different perspectives, but what we have in common is that we believe that Nigeria is working. In the issue of devolving of power from the central, we have actually had a debate on several occasions, and it is a consensus that the federal government of Nigeria owns too much power, and we have had a discussion that some part of the power should have been dissolved, especially in the area of economy. That is so far what we have discussed. Also in the issue of education as well, in the issue of power supply as well, that is power generation. So we have actually agreed that some form of power in the at the center should be devolved to the states. as the case may be. And as time goes on, we'll actually enter into the political discourse to know how the political power should be evolved or remain the same. Thank you. Yes, please.
Okay, good day, everybody. My name is Chiney, also from NTA. So my question, I know some of you mentioned some projects that will have to do with education. So now we know that a lot of things are like the educational system in Nigeria is going down the drain. Like every year you see, especially when it comes to cut-off marks, you see that every day it comes down. So I don't know whether you have deliberated in some way to, or with the Senate or whoever you have been discussing with it, how we can change that, because I don't see how the educational system keeps going down and then we see Nigeria rising. Because if our educational system is not what it should be, then I don't know who is graduating from the universities. That's the question.
Thank you for your wonderful question. Before I talk about it, I would like the Lebanon governor representing Imo State to say something on that.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, members of the press. We have had discussions on education, and especially when we were working on our Green Century Code. And one of the reasons why education is going down is because of the kind of people who are in charge of the educational sector. When I say the kind of people, I mean the teachers. If you observe in the educational system, you discover that the training institute for teachers, College of Education, is the institution that is that much attention is not paid to. You see people who are smart going for professional courses, medicine, engineering, and all that, and all those who couldn't meet up with the cut-off mark going towards educational, going towards college education. So in our report, we agreed to do a total curriculum reform, and apart from curriculum reform, also restoring the glory of the college of education, because we believe if you train teachers, if you have high-quality teachers, of course, they will turn to use good students. Apart from that, again, we intend to refine the teaching profession. Where you can go out to look for someone who married and tell them I'm a teacher, and the family will welcome you as if you're from an oil industry. So with these put together, we believe that the educational sector will go back to its former glory. And it's better. Thank you very much.
In addition to that, the governor of Lagos State.
Good morning, and that's a good question. We must be honest with ourselves. We are actually killing our children with too much work in school. They start work around 8 and they close around 4:35. You can imagine that kind of workload for those children at that young age. And they are loading lots of things on their head. So we overwork the brain right from primary school to the secondary level. And there is no doing skill to it. Everything is just theory, 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 theory. And when the brain gets overworked, they get home and the only thing they want to face is just cartoon and games. And there's so much distraction in the educational sector, heavy distraction. They are looking for ways to find relaxation because there's too much work in school. So we must find ways to actually shed off things that we've been studying since the 1980s. And actually infuse leadership skills and other things that would actually benefit them in our school system. I think with that we can do much in our education system. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Due to the vast availability of human resources and professionals in the House, one of the results that the Executive Council has come to is that wherever civilization goes, their education goes. Wherever you have top-notch education sector, that's where the country is changed. we agreed that the Maputo Declaration, which the federal government signed, must be put into law. With the current budget allocation of 2% to the education sector, we unanimously agreed that it must be moved up to 10% if we are to look into education and revive the glory of the practitioners, which are our teachers. Another of the resolution we came to was the fact that not just technical training colleges or teaching colleges, we realized that the human resources devoted to College of Education are of the least in Nigeria. In other words, teaching colleges have the lowest cut-off mark when it comes to teaching. We said that should no longer be the case. These and other key policy initiatives were some of the recommendations and additions in our Green Century Code. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Education is a sensitive sector that has been given very little attention. The last time I checked, or the last time we checked, even the National Library was not clean or sanitized because of the low level of attention to the educational sector. So we have come to an agreement, or we are still discussing it. Education can never come to a conclusion. We have come to an agreement that the curriculum for our schools be updated after every 4 years. What my father studied in the 1980s is what I studied in the year 2000. It's only what I learned on my own on the internet that I apply out of the curriculum of my school. I believe the educational system that has been created was even planned to fail before it started. So the educational system is will resolve that it will be visited after 4 years. Thank you.
Okay, let me just lastly, is there another recommendation you have, especially in the area of agriculture, because the government in power now, when they came in, they were like preaching the gospel of diversification of the economy.
Say that again.
Any other recommendation, especially in the area of agriculture? When this government in power just came in 2015, they were like saying we are going to diversify the economy. Any recommendation so far from the governors on agriculture?
Okay. The governor of Edo State answering in 1 minute, please.
Okay. Thank you for the question. There's one thing for you to make the youth attracted to agriculture. You must make agriculture smart, fun, and financially loaded. Until a 25-year-old Nigerian man can comfortably tell the parents of his wife-to-be that I am a farmer and see smiles on their face, agriculture would go nowhere in this country. Now, with all the glory, with all the effort of federal government, with all the effort of state government in agriculture, yet just few of the youth are attracted into agriculture. So the first step is to make agriculture smart. How do we mean by that? The world at large has left Nigerians in agriculture. It is a shame today that what we do in agriculture is still tilling the soil, gathering beds, farming, waiting for 3 months, and then farming is over, dry season is over, then we wait for the next season. Now, what we resolve is, first, let's ask ourselves, where's the world today? Smart farming, aeroponics, hydroponics, what are we doing? In terms of irrigation, what are we doing? We are still at the down level. When people have gone way far. In terms of preservation, what are we doing? So our resolve is to, one, bring in smart, best agricultural practices into Nigeria. Secondly, collaborative through cooperative farming. We can't have 36 youths in this house having 36 small farms. How about we have one giant mechanized farm? That is a second resolution. Then the third is in terms of marketing. We are tired of having the dirtiest market in the world. the largest fruit market or vegetable market in Nigeria today, in my 12 market, Kent market. How is that market compared to other markets in the world? I think as Nigerians, we should first sit down and have a roundtable discussion at all levels to look for the best way to grow markets and promote our products. Thank you.
All right. We'll all rise now for the labor room.
Let's have the creed after the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I stand in the sacred gates of time, shoulder to shoulder of my kind and breed. We share a common burden and promise. The traveling has started. My water is broken. Something is coming. A superior nation is breaking out. The world is anxiously waiting. And I am the carrier. I must release the special seed inside of me. The memories of yesterday will not stop me. The pain and shame of today will not define me. My home is the carrier of the future. Few days from now, my baby will cry for freedom. I shall give to the world a brand new super nation. This is my calling. It is too late to stop me. For my God and my kind, this will surely be. Push!
Super 37.
Push!
God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This project is the brainchild of the Nigerian Reverse Project. With a clear aim of delivering a super nation.
Delivering a what?
Supernation.
A super nation. We haven't been overwhelmed.
Right.
With the liberation of national issues. And I must say that leadership is very difficult. We haven't been overwhelmed with deliberations on national issues. And I must say that leadership is very difficult to solve. I now have a fair understanding of what you go through every day to give us a better society.
No, Rito.
What you go through.
I now have
a fair understanding of what you go through every day to give us a better society. And may I use this medium society. In 2015, next paragraph, Nigeria was declared the biggest economy in Africa. One of the major reasons for achieving this was because of our entertainment industry.
I don't understand.
Biggest
economy in Africa.
2015, Nigeria was the biggest economy in Africa.
Yes, one of the reasons.
One of the major reasons for achieving this was food source. Consequently, as part of our duty, we have been charged to come up with a personal project. Mine is known as your personal project. Mine is known as the Amen project. Deep Daddy project. $1 project. Entrepreneurs project.
Locana project.
Locana project.
Dash.
This is a project that will help our now. Should I go on to the next slide? Yes. I invite you to key into this project in any way you think fit. I believe it is not far from what
I believe. Any way you deem fit.
I invite you to key into this project in any way you deem fit. Full stop. I believe it is not far from what you have been doing, especially for the downtrodden in the society. So it now depends on your project, especially for the youths in the society, especially for
From what you have been doing, especially dash.
I believe, if possible, next time if you have such letters, have 6 copies, give it to houses.
Who will write it?
to the labor room mansion.
Same paragraph.
No. Next paragraph.
What if they don't discharge the person?
There's a contract.
Sorry, may I also invite you to the labor room mansion?
Labor room mansion.
Okay.
To meet. May I also invite you to the labor room mansion, to meet and have a discussion with 37 labor room governors. And also to give us the words of encouragement. Full stop. Next paragraph. I look forward to having further discussions with you on my personal projects and seeing you in the labor room mansion.
To having other discussion.
Further discussions with you on my personal projects and seeing you in the mansion. This comes with assurance of my highest esteem. This comes
Your Excellency.
The assurance of my highest esteem.
What's that?
Yours faithfully, Prince Yusuf Brown. Your signature, your name.
What's the heading to this letter?
Huh?
Formal letter. What is
the letter?
See, this is like letter of introduction.
Please, suggesting
Introduction what? It's an invitation letter. Invitation.
Letter introducing your project. Letter of introduction to the invitation.
An invitation.
What is the book? You are inviting them.
Wait. Letter of introduction.
No, sorry. National Assembly. You know each state has about 9. I see for my own.
No,
Me, I don't know who it is.
In case you don't know, how do you get it? Current affairs. Yes, no.
Mr. Chairman, any other thing?
No, they are.
Actually,
This current affairs, yeah.
Is this still applicable?
Yes.
So far, the current affairs.
Yeah, current affairs is there, but some of them are not correct. Some of them have been automatic.
Just make it
Yes.
Do we have to write it in our master? I just want to type it or it's
Some states have more than because as
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, sir. Is it possible to request from the council current affairs the names of these honorable reps? Okay.
Who kidnapped my book? Sharon. Someone in Karasoro.
Must it go on this paper? Must it go on this paper?
Okay, yes, I heard you by
Yes, the head secretary. With your picture. You're not listening to me.
I don't know.
This one, no more paper. It's the only one I have. The only one I have.
which of the Sharon, in a paper. Which house is higher? Green or red? Who belongs to Senate?
It's red, right? It's green.
Nah, man.
Who has current affairs? You don't know your...
Nah, oh my God. I'm not telling you now. That's what...
Sorry?
What about
my own company. You don't have Korea company. You don't want to. Bros.
Who has current affairs?
And Carl, this one is serving for this.
What's the date today?
You take notes.
He might tell us what day we're going to do again. 12.
He's always attacking the house of people. You guys are no. You are always attacking the house of people. No, that's the truth. I said I don't think it's just by the
May I also invite
no, now.
to meet with and
you want to go to the gym?
They're not supposed to stay.
They're not meant to go inside there. If they have done it, she said
it's everywhere. I'm passing to
the audio. Me, I'm perceiving the video.
Seriously, this is.
Definitely, you have to introduce yourself.
Are we going to be in this?
Are they going to get it?
Why they fumigate?
It's normal insecticide.
It is not good for health.
If you dare house, you know they spray
this one is
for your medicinal for mallow.
No, we're not saying that. No, even if I are see, but say it is not too good.
Go and sit where it is. Stop complaining.
I'm not complaining. I'm complaining for those that it will affect.
They should look for where
don't talk to me.
You must complain about everything. Simple insecticide that flies are disturbing people everywhere. You say fly this or fly this or not that if you get
serious.
And you are looking at it like that. Yeah, in support of all these people that want to complain. Try it and I'll scrub your mouth.
He has no right to talk.
Do the leaf.
No, he has no.
Okay, I'm suspecting you nowadays.
That's not my justification. Yes. Everybody has the right to but we shouldn't take things like this. Yours was direct.
Anybody, I don't understand what is your own. To stop you like this.
Stop doing that.
Wait.
Let me shoot them so that
no.
They should stop doing this thing. They should not do this to people. They should stop.
In fact, the spokesperson was not supposed to. So when he was.
Why do this?
And that was what I was saying. Calm down. So when he was saying, did it to left, did it to right, I was like, trying to tell him that even the person that will set the balance is from the house of the
G-Nuts, we're over here. G-Nuts.
It was after the German clarified.
Yeah,
it was after the German clarified.
That's what's up,
What's up, what you have? They changed the paper.
The printer.
Bless. Continue now, bless.
When you asked me, was German
everything was going to go.
I want to say that one.
They take your own answer. That's
Batman celebrates everyday manager with jubilation. Hey, what up?
See you when I see you.
Alright.
Are you kidding me? This is the main.
Yep.
The only one, I think.
I've also seen
Now my name is
This country is the assurance.
Our leaders, and then
On my personal
have their peace. Oh, we are ahead of them for years. I'm that was number one problem. I was thinking to call because it was not that have this slogan of he that wear the shoe know where it pays. So if they are not problem, they will know. You understand? That's why it's very key for our press to know that thing. And I remember, right and fast. I was thinking, I wanted to relax. I'm able to answer. When I have to answer, I think people were angry. Because we have to get involved. Beyond our own our leaders need to drag them.
Thank you. The storm is over, so I can fly in the weather. The storm is over, flying in the weather. We need cheddar, so we can blow more Buddha. Buddha. Choking Buddha with the Buddha. Choking Buddha with the Buddha. Mela. This guy is Ella. Praise be to the Most High Allah. Playing hard to get. Playing hard to get.
Anybody seems to come.
Playing hard to get. It's never a palm thing. Standing tall like a flag. Never standing tall like a flag. We all standing tall. Mela. This guy is Ella. Give you my hand. This guy is Chilla. So good. Another Magana.
You know the person. Just direct the letter straight to her.
Magana.
No, direct it to me and tell her, I know this is my account number. Should I bring my own to her?
When you are writing it,
she left.
Put that we need 25
young and get high.
Nice.
I'm here.
Nice. Nice, please let me.
Okay. What should I hold?
Don't do man.
Sit down. Nice. Sit down.
Retaliation.
Yes.
You don't forgive. I'm not your friend again.
Oh yeah, location.
Yes, I come here.
I'm not your friend.
And it's been party.
I need battery.
Yes. Yagi. You know, as I want to write to my constituency laws,
this battery function.
We need 2 oil from it. Oil blocks.
Old battery.
Yes.
New one.
I've not yet.
They're yet to put them
Okay. It's a party. Just give me power, then you give me 2 oil blocks. Yeah, so you can use it for your oil. Of course. It's a party.
They must come.
Of course. You're on live TV asking if the camera on.
No. No.
On the corner, chocolate.
You're well worried about it.
Sharon, please, when it's done now, when you're taking a look at it, just have a look at it.
Okay, I don't know.
Thanks. I picked a pen. I've been asking who's the owner of the pen. Nobody wants to sign it. The pen is now mine. It's officially mine.
Yes, officially yours. I had the announcement.
I've been asking who's the owner of the pen. Nobody wants to hear it. Fine.
Don't mind those love.
The pen is officially mine.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to go.
Yeah, it's true.
From Akwa Ibom Fly for.
Yes, sure.
All of them.
Missing the lover.
I just have to glance through. Which one?
Missing the lover at home.
These little
music is music. One will write.
Traveling this road too long.
It's not the.
Just trying to find my way back home.
That's the platform.
Oh, me dead and gone. Dead and gone.
You're telling me what? Who wants to?
I've been traveling this road too long.
Ask him the question.
Just trying to find my way back home. Dead and gone. Dead and gone.
That's the truth.
Madam, can you want to make a farm dance?
We know we're just looking for a better spelling station. A better spelling station. This one is Prince Boshina. Double email. Nice. You know your name. I sure of you.
Well, I'm not sure.
Check the name for me. I know it. Just be sure.
I never liked it. Not
Mukhtar Ali something.
I'm trying to make first one. No, just I just want to. Yes. Say chairman and commission defense, but cover one.
Because special na Uma is my dad's friend. It's like this.
all those reps were right from time.
And the normal day will go to class like
You are writing the whole of it? Okay, you want to copy that?
No, maybe we have to follow instructions. I just want to write.
my two main way for
Jedediah.
Yes.
This is your turn now.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm just going to write.
Never had flair of love for their places.
Are you sure this man did not hold any committee?
Governor,
gaskiya kasa akwai correct we correct we kuma we an ko repeat
don't like look at Byron Nike. Son of the sun. Yeah, you come and it has come to stay. Understand the man I am, so just let me.
Why are you giving me the
Now do it my way.
For Lagos.
Son of the sun. Yeah, you come again. The game you.
Yes.
It has come to stay. Understand the man I am, so just let me.
No, you're not trying.
Do it my way.
Yes, for me.
Where is the kitty?
Walking front and back, you don't know what I'm doing. Riding there every day, my shaman will mess with my chairman, all your rich come. Think I'm going rich like Napoleon Hill. I don't make deals with you so hard. Don't come to my mind. I was even trying to. Now I'm sitting back, lately trying to make my cheese with fat meals.
Mr. Chairman, please can I have your time?
You respond to her, you go in falling.
Oh, yeah.
You go in falling, you come up the falling. Can I use it?
I live on it.
Body. When you come and respond, make you balance call. When you might respond, you tell us.
Body Thomas. Body Thomas.
True, this man will quickly respond.
Yo.
This last one
Nigga, what up? Nigga.
It is not for my side.
Yeah, body. You can start from the body.
What if you write it?
Don't my spirit.
Yes, I did.
Let me compare to
what you will write to.
Yes, I will take
you think I'm writing anyone down?
I was at federal level. Another one day, it takes 2 minutes to 50K. And I put that one respond to me faster. Can I write it down? You understand? This is my local government too. That one is simply interested in youth and agriculture.
What are you doing?
I want to confirm. Which is better also.
Yeah, they look good.
People like us. Everyone has a mic around.
How much is it?
I'm sure they will get to
I don't even know what that
Be able to answer that question.
I think those like one as a guy,
I don't know shit about it.
Start with father as a don't give that father
What? As for that area, anyway you pass there.
Are they going to follow whether it's
for now. For now, the only thing they use for now you
don't need to put.
I just sit down. But immediately, this is my pet project. I'll just.
ask her what do I need it for?
Okay, what do you need?
Yeah, that's what you should have asked. I'm writing the article, not the one we are all writing. Lagos, Niger.
Chairman, are we still coming back here? Niger. I'll copy this thing.
Is it House of Representatives or Senators?
House of Rep.
Is it House of Rep or Senators?
House of Rep.
Okay, House of Rep. Yeah, I'm done.
You don't close down.
Yeah, now.
Sorry, Oshie, what's this?
Mr. Chair, sorry to break you. Are we still coming back here?
She no going. Lagos. Lagos.
Sure.
And you understand my words. So, except with technology that
Yusufu.
I'll bring it.
It's a power stop. Yeah, it's a power stop.
It's a power stop.
Of course now.
nobody can help them do
The first one is burning alive, and the second one is I said burning alive is the first thing. The worst of the thing. As in burn you alive, and the second one is as in the pain. Yes.
One hand for
burn you alive. As in being burned.
That's not extreme. I'm telling you medically.
If at this age, you see they show you difference between sunlight and rain.
Is burning alive legal?
Burning alive what?
It's not legal.
Accidentally. Maybe that's what I'm saying.
That one is not burning, that one is not pain, that one is torture. Thank you very much for recognizing my writing. If that's the business that you are bound for it,
Take you out of me. I remember this last.
Check these outfits. Check these outfits. That's mosquito.
You can take it. For comparative
Check his outfits.
No, I'm actually from Ethiopia. No, I have lived in all of these places. Like my dad is here. I lived here. I was born here. I still have a family house here. It was mainland. Still the same. Sule, family. Still Kenya and friends. And I'm looking at also population and places that close to media houses. Most media is
Yes, I'm giving like a headed to
that's why I'm looking at
Imam. Oh, yeah, Sheikh. Present Imam.
Don't call that former pastor.
I'm former now.
There's no former pastor.
He didn't carry it.
like this one is though it's still a daily case, but it's not case.
I would love that. Why didn't you put this out? Where is young ladies? It's not done yet. You could have left. You just come. Who's cooking here? Shams. Whose tea is this? Have you made custard for?
That was the hard one.
Eh? Removing what? Vitamin with the milk. Now I'm interested in who or this. Who made it? This is bad. This is yeah. That which makes us people should be liberal with the way they teach.
Some people know which one should I do.
Yeah. You can't pick cup because I don't know who. I don't know who. I'm trying to investigate.
Who is this? Oh, give it to the bar.
Use the bell.
Wait, this. No, it's like surprising. If I have the power. If I have the power.
Channels.
Build. Are you sure this is
What is the booking?
Yes.
What's the result for Jennifer Lake University?
Sir?
Jennifer Lake. What is the result? Is it a certificate?
I thought you poured the pepper.
Ask for prep, have you?
Like 40. I mean, 90.
James Faleke.
What is his certificate?
90 divided by 6.
Masters.
Wait, 6 or 9?
I need to see the results. The higher the education, the more you understand.
I really need to. I'm so much interested in the project. I'm not fine. If you see the kind of guy with the summer kitchen was. You are making this thing longer than it should be. Where are other members of us are making this thing longer? This thing longer. That's why I said other members. What's your that was
a you want to activate that. Train play.
Did they give you my letterheads?
What? 15. Yeah. And some people are ready to with their sugar.
This guy is small, just small. You see? You're insulting somebody.
And this is a most stupid.
These clothes are very small. But you are looking good here, Chinese picture.
I was really stressed out for that picture.
You are looking very, very like that. Tell them when they change this. You are looking 42.
Even when they write.
Okie dokie. Did you notice something when we came in this morning? There was even spirit inside this hall. There was spirit inside this hall. Negative energy was here. Did you notice it? When I sat down here, I was angry with everybody. Before you know it, it came there. Before you know it, I said, which guy did this? And guess what? It was the way they announced our coming here. The way Nigeria announced it. Move to the lounge, move to this thing now. You know, there was no preparation, so most people did not actually get to put themselves together. It resulted to clash.
My guy!
Are we still?
We have to.
I also want to know.
This project invitation is so much. Ready? He's the first staff or not?
You saw somebody.
There's a committee that first start.
Your secret. I understand. Actually, I don't keep. I don't have anything. I don't have anything.
Food, now they bring you food. I'm contributing food. You don't put milk.
Where Shams today?
Shams today. You should have known this. This song for them. This song. I mean, not just.
For those that are indisposed, you need medical police reports. I know. I've denied many people today, honestly.
What is the standard? You mean solution for Nigeria? How do you mean?
Come out from there.
I'm trying to do more into that.
You come for it. I need to see medical reports.
I should show you my doctor's
You are expecting the oil.
I need to see medical reports.
Wow.
Hey, Jesus.
Yo, don't agree. Don't agree. People will go tear me. So please, I need to override whatever is in this. How many times have you Samson, please let me join. What's the meaning of this? I don't like it. You can't be
Nigeria
affecting this.
You know one thing now. Be careful, no. You don't like that. You can as well spread. This is the spread on this law. Wait, Henry, you know something? Some people don't go to the house.
Please include me in the prayer.
These guys now.
Oh my God.
Either their father is a minister or their father.
Sharon. Sorry, please let me add it. I didn't know it was
only that one.
Sharon. I love what you have. Sharon, you custard, spag, cheese, lips. Nice. Can I come and have a bite? Is it like that? What? You will see. You are the one convincing himself. You are the one convincing him. Maybe it's alright or it's not alright. Stop confusing him. Let him know if it's alright or if it's not alright. Let's see. How do you put out your head? Don't confuse him. Let him understand if he's friend.
I'm not for that. I'm not the one that will. Mama, that's who your friend by father. It's that
Abba is no longer in this room. We don't come out of this room. We don't go back to a regular.
First card for someone that you share. You do that for someone. I know.
If not,
that. I know if someone can. Just dance, just dance. No. It's beans. Now beans will take a time. When you can use it to oppress. Sylvester, we are putting that thing together.
I'm looking for that pepper. On the first the conflict question.
Onye kwere dị.
So who wants the stuff in there? Chunk.
God, I don't know. Oh. Make it. I am pot. I said that one, don't finish.
No, I am pot.
Yes, sir. I'm coming.
That's what we had initially.
Yes. 5 minutes.
No, it's still my own. I still see myself as a pioneer. Everyone will be.
Yes.
Chance of this thing go like this. This thing. It's because
Santaraba. How can you do that?
Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Okay. Custard juice. Sorry, where's the remaining custard? Who prepared custard? Please, I need to. I am. That was what chairman called me.
Request.
We make demand for them.
Yes, I wrote them, sir.
It's what the chairman said.
I'll bring it. No, I'm saying this is a request. I'm not just request for one. And then some plain sheets.
Please, let me prepare it.
Plain sheets and then this. But I will get
She has been attending to pastor. I've been attending to her.
Should I display the message or should I just tell them individually?
Even till last night.
They discharge the
even early this morning.
One by one. They should just get set.
Let me prepare it. Let me prepare it.
Your Excellencies, please, little notice. Those on the discharge list, please listen. Listen. Those on the discharge list, please get set. You'll be interviewed one after the other any moment from now. Here, X-ray room. No, so you have your time. Got it? So look at Aba in Zuba ni bafara wakona. Anche kuje get set. Basu shirya basu, amma su sun ce ku ku shirya. To shi kenan. To yau basu fara ba. Ɗaya za ku je fa. Prince.
Jasmine.
Yeah. Okay, okay, that would be awesome. So now, what is it? Okay, let me just go. Yes, I'm not changing.
Can we please get it?
A lot of people have done the law with me, but whenever I remember, this is not Shima.
Is it now?
No maganisha. Nikuwaze maganisha. Fada mana. But I can. Sorry.
Shut up.
Every state in Nigeria, that give you a piece.
Okay.
No?
Yeah.
That is your house.
That is
your
house. Abba, that is your own personal. That is your personal project. This is your state project. You are carrying the mandate of your people. This is not your family. We are talking of 11.4 million people. Yourself. This is highly different from.
So say no more kalamisu.
Bill, I should not comment.
That might what I do. They're getting set up. As well as spoken to you about it. They just check well. You need it. It's not because of anything, because of yourself too. Understand, no? And then maybe, and then your campaign. You will also campaign and then you will be asked some questions. Henry.
Come and see. It's not this person. No, they just. You see, I've done
okay, but why they don't touch?
So we get the confirmation of
I just look through, say, I can't look at that. They on that.
So you have only
so Amak and Buhari now have only one. Yes, no. For local government now have one. Why are they doing it like that?
No, but Buhari is like the biggest area council in Nigeria.
Yes. Amak too is big.
Yeah, but Buhari is larger than Amak.
Amak. But in terms of other
Amak is just like the rest of Lagos and Kano. Land mass.
Population
and facilities. Lagos has and it's more difficult to manage people than to manage land. Now why is now? You don't see now why?
Do you watch
What's that?
You can watch before you fuck inside.
So they keep going. But it's not the one we're writing. I am reps. In fact, the one that is representing your own
but why you not choose? Why do you like Apple?
Inside your own, you can tell him to relate it to.
Sweat is not that. You know what time? You already have a letter to ask. Oh, you know that's why I can ask questions. Not just my okay, okay, but what makes what I want?
Now they put that on there.
Okay, is there a possibility that washing white for long time?
I'm coming. I beg you, no enter. I'm here. I'm coming, my darling. Oh, hallelujah. Samba, samba. The best stuff.
You want to watch that?
This is a little.
I'm so waiting.
That one for me. No.
It's a potential. What happens that when there's no light, when we are the batters, some people in the house remove our AC.
Communication.
I don't know what that shot was.
I was surprised when I do it.
There's more if you want. Seriously. There's more inside the fridge if you want. Seriously.
Come up and only like
The thunder restaurant in this house is very, very effective. See that yesterday we were in the fall. You hear that sound yesterday, but I was in the room. Before the sound, the ACs, everything drip off immediately. I just hear everything there up. Ping, 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 ping. The next thing I hear, I say correct. They really, really tried.
Okay,
the things.
I was one day in my I was doing some work.
That's where.
After doing the work, my legs were on my desk.
So we get to this point.
My laptop.
Should be clear with this.
I saw it red color. I saw it red. Strike me on this foot now. Well, it shocked me. I do the laptop, but I've got a habit. Less than 1 second before I do the laptop, I will say that something on the bed.
Blah blah blah. This is a serious.
Before that, before I fell down.
So now, what time are they coming? What time are they coming? So the first person
last year, this leg became paralyzed for up to, let me say, 1 hour. 1 hour or two, I couldn't feel anything.
In the next 10 minutes, please. Prince.
And that was
in the next 10 minutes.
before when they are building house.
In the next 10 minutes.
That's why.
Ask whatever under the foundation before building. But they don't do it nowadays. They don't do it nowadays. I remember that thing I was going on.
I was abashing. I saw the red light. It hit me on my this toe. Not even like my feet like this. You say it's my feet, but I mean this one. But when I dropped this one, I was thinking, I don't even really God. I was thinking, have I
What ni kaji ji a 2023 ka muna gari ne gaba gida wurin muka gida amma dai muna barin laborin gidan ka zan je in wata ni ka gidan ka zan wata da ka kare diplomatic ni ka muna barin laborin a gidan zan je wata na son kalli garin shi don mai zai faru don mai possibilities kada su kuta But that is still
I said this. Even from houses, when you look at this, this lady living like
yeah, they're big.
So they used to do it all day.
That one, I think that one will deflect the traffic. If you have more complex, they will now connect the kind of electricity. Electrical connection start to connect the power supply. Start to something of that nature. So one thing receives signal, the thing to pick up. Wow. Yes. Because that's important.
Actually, there was one that is plugging your phone and put it beside your phone. That one
Bayan kuma kasan yana nema abu wallahi ya gama neman har zai yi da mu ba to wai za mu bi
Let me learn. Still 10 minutes.
Chama. Is there a program you're starting?
What?
Food is being served.
Okay. No. Coming up now.
No.
Come on. You don't from Jackie down, you don't get close. Guy, you just back. How about go sit? How about go eat?
No, even if you don't stay at home, at least you should.
Yes, okay. To the best of my knowledge, he talked from the he's also contesting for governor of Anambra State.
No.
Because our election is not November 18th.
Yes, and you're very sure. Whereas most of this, what's the name of this thing? This current affairs, they'll just change the back once it's 1st January. And the content is
information.
Thank you.
No. This was set 2015, you wrote it there.
No, it's copyright.
Okay, let's copyright.
Yes.
There's nothing correct about that affair. And you're sure? Address it to him.
Let's go and eat. Let's go and eat, please. Yana sama kenan. I don't think of the one day we are going to wait for this.
Yeah, right. It's like one of our own sisters that they have not.
Yes, I'll pray now. On the corner.
The initial was different.
Labor Room Governor on the state. Pray for us. No, sit. Babale.
Adeleke.
That is not the problem. It is Abuja. Babale, you are buying two goods for me. How much this now? How much? Thank you, God. You know okay, but wait, how do we do it? Because of how the sugar. Now, yes. Now, this is good. Not the business. I use good good.
Actually, they are cooking so we communicate all the gas
no, she has already put down. She's already down. She's put down here. Oh, I mean, promise is already down. Huh? Okay, they've already used it. You don't get. It was because she was not down and the food was not coming. That was why I allowed. So now that it's already in her hand, they won't tell you, but maybe I don't know. That was what the hand. So now the punch now is going to order for another one, and then immediately. Let's not make any. Give me small garlic, please. But how can I get sugar now? Chicken boss! Kitchen boss! Kitchen boss! Are they? It's much. Can I have sugar, please?
Please trust it. Yes.
You cannot drive to Abuja. You drive to, you send this to
We are telling you there's nothing current about that affair. Leave it. Half of rice. No, it's the name of the restaurant too. The food is ready restaurant.
Let's go and walk.
Where is the we don't want to eat. I don't want to. I don't want to live a fasted life. It's for not people. Seriously, but to be sincere, that food here. People want to judge. You want to judge it.
Let me ask you. It is sweet. It is sweeter than everything in your life.
You want to judge it.
Your husband will praise.
Anybody, the food looks scary.
That's the part.
I'm not sure say if you want the Mr. Masters are like to stress like seriously such a
We didn't prepare for identifying crisis management. Huh?
He fell.
Finish that thing. Look at
I'm telling you.
Go and do it.
Let's sit down here. Ndukana. Ndukana. Just push this. Cutleries. Yes.
Oh my God. You eat this. Wow.
Thank you.
So, Chairman, are we still in power?
We're still in power. I actually do that almost every time.
But they are giving back to them.
X-ray room. Please help me. Thank you, sir.
Actually,
My name is Najin DK.
I will just finish this. I'll finish this one. No, I came with this chair from upstairs.
Your best friend. Thank you, Bala.
The next generational billionaire.
Abi? You know, I make friends. I don't even know.
All this life, I don't know what others do.
Why are people not coming out to eat today?
The House of Representatives number is different from the Senate. The Senator is the red seat, the green seat is the House of Reps.